Today, I want us to look at 100 true or false questions for all ranks. If you are ready, let's begin. 1. The Sustainable Development Goal 4. Target 1 states that by 2030, all boys and girls should complete free, equitable, and quality primary and secondary education, leading to relevant and effective learning outcomes. True or false? True. A school can directly improve academic performance of students by improving teacher note-taking. True or false? Is false. One of the major quality assurance issues confronting heads of the public senior high schools is the encroachment on school lands by local chiefs and other people. True or false? Is true. 4. The school timetable brings together subjects, teachers, classes, rooms, and school equipment in the best possible permutation. True or false? Is true. 5. The overall mandate of the Ministry of Education is to provide relevant and quality education for some Ghanaians. True or false? False. 6. The goal of the education sector is in accordance with Education Act 778. True or false? True. 7. The guiding principle of guidance and counseling is the ultimate emotional and psychological well-being of the learner as the determining factor for effective learning. True or false? Is true. 8. Outstanding teachers may be selected for awards by school improvement and support officers, pupils, students, heads of institution, and colleagues. True or false? Is true. The quality of teaching is determined by total number of pupils in the class. True or false? Is false. 10. The closing of schools, universities, and colleges as a result of COVID-19 outbreak disturbed teaching for students around the world, but could not affect education in any way as teaching and learning still go on. True or false? Is false. 11. Equity, inclusion, gender, and teachers are cross-cutting issues in education. True or false? Is false. 12. Basic education is designed for all Ghanaian children from the ages 4 to 15 within a period of 11 years. True or false? Is true. Creativity and innovation skills enable learners to develop their cognitive and reasoning ability to analyze issues and situations, leading to the resolution of problems. True or false? Is true. 14. An important strategy that will help you as a teacher to introduce your topic is to anticipate students' questions. True or false? True. 15. Formative assessment can take the form of progress review meetings between the teacher and the student at various points in the term. True or false? True. 16. It is not recommended to take statement directly from text to make good true or false question items. True or false? It's true. It is not recommended to do that. So it's true. The statement is true. 17. Strategies such as writing detailed questions or prompts, including clear directions and establishing and communicating clear grading criteria, will increase test reliability. True or false? Is true. The key characteristics of any form of assessment are validity and reliability. Another way to think of reliability is in terms of replicability. True or false? True. 19. Students' performance is higher in classes when the teacher devotes large amount of time to the materials needed rather than teaching content. True or false? Is false. In Ghana, financial accountability is one of the major responsibilities of the head of schools. True or false? Is true. 21. Procrastination is a productive behavior pattern that causes you to enhance the job efficiency because you focus on tasks that aren't priorities for the day or week. True or false? Is false. An advantage of planning is that we intend to focus on what works today and how to deal with the issues of tomorrow. True or false? Is true. 23. Teacher Education Division, TED, is one of the divisions of the Ghana Education Service headquarters. True or false? Is true. It is the NTC that is not a division under the Ghana Education Service, but the Teacher Education Division is under the Ghana Education Service. Actually, the Teacher Education Service has been upgraded to the National Teaching Council, the NTC. 24. The Ghana Tertiary Education Commission comprises the National Accreditation Board and the National Council for Tertiary Education. True or false? Is true. The Ghana Education Service Council submits to the Minister of Education recommendations for tertiary education policies and program in Ghana. True or false? Is false. 26. The Ministry of Education implements approved national policies and programs on education in Ghana. True or false? False. 27. In any situation, performance tasks are hands-on activities that require students to demonstrate their ability to perform certain actions. True or false? Is true. Teachers who are respected and liked are associated with greater student satisfaction and higher achievement. True or false? True. 29. A teacher cannot exhibit referent power on the first day of class by giving students a sense of belonging and acceptance. True or false? It's false. The teacher can exhibit reference power. 30. Classrooms are said to have norms when only few of the students agree to what is or what is not socially acceptable behavior. True or false? Is false. Social psychologists believe that the process of group formation begins with its members agree to go against the norms of the group. True or false? Is false. Licensure and exit tests are the best predictors of classroom performance of teachers. True or false? Is false. If a teacher teaches with a high degree of clarity, he or she will spend less time going over the materials. This is true. So it is true that if a teacher teaches with high degree of clarity, he or she will spend less time going over materials. 34. Students' performance is higher in classes where the teacher devotes large amount of time to the process and materials needed rather than teaching content. Is false. The teacher must rather give more attention to teaching the content than the materials. 35. What a teacher does not say is every bit as important as what a teacher does say. True or false? Is true. Competitive activities have little value in establishing or maintaining an effective classroom climate and should thus be avoided. True or false? Is false. Students feel important and are encouraged to participate in class when a teacher uses their ideas in moving a class lesson or activity forward. True or false? Is true. Bid rigging may result in supply of inferior textbooks and supplies. True or false? Is true. In assessing learning, it is not important of assessment before selecting an assessment approach. True or false? Is false. Types of corruption in elementary to secondary education range from academic cheating to bribery and nepotism in teaching appointments to bid rigging in the procurement of classroom textbooks and supplies. True or false? True. When families are made to pay bribes for services, this puts poor students at a disadvantage and thus reduces equal access to education. True or false? True. Giving teachers the authority and responsibility to apply their own professional knowledge to making decisions to their areas or in their areas of responsibility is an important aspect of collegiality. True or false? True. 43. Establishing rules and procedures is one of the least important classroom management tasks. True or false? False. The performing stage begins when students want to show that they can do some things independently of the teacher. True or false? True. Written assessment or assignment are activities in which the student selects or composes a response to a prompt. True or false? True. 46. The teacher cannot alter the classroom climate, but should work for student success regardless of the climate. True or false? It's false. The teacher can alter the classroom climate. 47. In Ghana, the National Teacher Standard sets out the maximum level of practice that trained teachers must reach by the end of their pre-service teacher education course in order to play such a crucial role. True or false? True. The skills that must be demonstrated in performance tasks cannot vary considerably. It's false. It can vary. In a school, teachers may use different types of assessments available to them. True or false? Is true. Summative assessments can take the form of progressive review meeting between the teacher and student at various points in the term. True or false? It's false. Summative it's not like that. But it's false. 51. The District Education Oversight Committee, DEOC, is a structure to facilitate community participation in education. True or false? It's true. The capitation grant was introduced in the basic school to remove fees as a barrier to access education. True or false? True. One of the objectives of the 2008 Education Reform Program is to enhance education sector management and budgeting procedures. True or false? True. An attribute to good governance in GES is non-delegation of management control of an institution. True or false? True. The core common function of the Ghana Education Service is to formulate, approve, structure, and content of education in the country. True or false? False. The school's informal organization refers to the structure of extracurricular activities. True or false? Is false. Giving students, 57, giving students the authority and responsibility to apply their own professional knowledge to making decisions in their areas of responsibility is an important aspect of collegiality. True or false? True. Teacher survey is not an effective process for collecting data about instructional and organizational effectiveness. True or false? False. 59. Non-norm reference tests cannot be used to improve instruction. True or false? Is false. Non-reference tests can be used to improve instruction. Value-added assessment focuses on student learning gains in an academic year. True or false? Is true. Complexity in school scheduling relates in meeting different needs of students. True or false? Is true. School heads should refrain from conducting community survey. True or false? Is false. Teachers exercise leadership in the school in their operations. True or false? It's true. A school is considered efficient if inputs are low and outputs are high. It's true. It's true. Grading students' performance has a powerful influence in the school culture and contributes to shape how students perform both in and out of the classroom. True or false? Is true. Consensus in planning increases teachers' sense of ownership in school improvement efforts. True or false? True. Visioning identifies destination. Planning provides the goals, strategies to get there. True or false? True. Efficiency as a value affects school policy decision. True or false? True. Normative systems such as grading on the curve work against collaborative learning strategies. True or false? Is true. Involving teachers in the employment interview of prospective teachers for department is a bad idea. True or false? Is false. It is important to know the purpose of assessment before selecting an assessment approach. True or false? Is true. 72. Grades are indicators of what students have learned become tainted if non-academic factors are counted and included in the evaluation. True or false? True. 73. A typical example of a gender gap in our society is certain jobs are considered to be the preserves of men. True or false? True. Some features of monarchical rule, that is monarchy, includes freedom of expression, separation of powers, rule of law, multi-party system, among others. True or false? Is false. World Teachers Day provides the occasion to celebrate teaching profession worldwide, take stock of achievement, and draw attention to the voices of teachers who are the heart of efforts to attain the global education target of leaving no one behind. True or false? True. World or International Teachers Day is earmarked for celebration on every 25th December. True or false? Is false. The National Council for Tertiary Education, established by an Act of Parliament to recommend and advise the Minister of Education for all matters relating to the delivery of tertiary education in Ghana. True or false? True. 78. At the school level, the head of the institution provides day-to-day administration of the processes of teaching, and while teachers are supposed to provide learners with skills for the job market. True or false? False. The present teacher education delivery is designed around the National Teacher Education Curriculum Framework, which includes an assessment policy for teachers' preparation and informed by the National Teachers Standards. True or false? True. Part 1 of the National Pension Scheme deals with basic education social security scheme. True or false? Is false. In all, there are 17 districts on the complementary basic education project. True or false? True. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, a CBE class is requested to have a maximum of 10 learners per class. True or false? False. Criterion reference assessment fall under formal assessment. True or false? True. Intuitive decision making is based on implicit knowledge relayed to the conscious mind at the point of decision through affects or unconscious cognition. True or false? True. When building a dossier on a misconducting teacher, a notebook must be procured by the head teacher of the school to enter all the misconduct of the teacher. True or false? True. A fundamental difference between inspection and supervision is that inspection is specific oriented, whereas supervision involves all aspects of the school. True or false? True. In the case of re-engagement, a court order or a document declaring the teacher innocent must be attached to other relevant documents. True or false? True. As far as the psychology of the child is concerned, the following can be thought of: temperament, temper, disposition, behavior, and way of thinking. True or false? True. 89. The development domains of childhood development are 3. True or false? False. They are 5. 90. A graphical illustration of the formal structure of personnel in a district or regional office is called a scalar chart. True or false? True. The most suitable Microsoft Office application to keep personal records of staff in school is Microsoft Access. True or false? False. 92. Accountability and improvement are 2 major processes of assessment in education. True or false? False. If a test is valid, then it is reliable. True or false? True. An assessment procedure should not be based on the characteristics to be measured. True or false? False. 95. The National Accreditation Board is responsible for accrediting service providers who offer in-service training services to teachers. True or false? False. Administration is the primary activity of any school, but not the machinery for running the primary activities of the school. True or false? False. A school improvement support officer is an administrator. True or false? It's true. The National Teaching Council is not a division of the Ghana Education Service. True or false? True. 99. Delegation in school setting is a process by which school heads give their core responsibility to their subordinates. True or false? Is false. 100. The West African Examination Council does not operate in Francophone West Africa. True or false? True. They only operate in Anglophone West Africa. 101. Evidence of the positive school ethos include consistency, shared values, and standards. True or false? True. 102. It is important that circuit supervisors, now CISOs, keep their teachers' lesson notebooks. True or false? Is false. 103. Students learn best in a multitude of ways rather than one dominant means. True or false? Is true. 104. The complementary based training curriculum delivery methodology is suitable for TVET training at the second cycle level of education. True or false? True. Every goal in the 2030 agenda requires that education is to empower people with the knowledge, skill, and value to live in dignity, build their lives, and contribute to their society. True or false? True. 106. A school head promoting a professional learning community can lead to a sense of competition among teachers in a school. Is false. 107. As a supervisor, consulting your staff in advance when developing a plan may direct your attention to potential pitfalls. True. It's true. The need for a supervisor to engage in the human relation angle of supervision means that the supervisor should be involved in problem solving, learner-centered education. True or false? True. In mainstreaming special education students, it is important that they experience an educational environment that reinforces the difference between special education and general education students. True or false? Is false. The school heads should ensure that paid vouchers are numbered sequentially and entered same in the logbook and properly filed. True or false? False. Vouchers are not entered into logbooks. And this is where I bring the 100 true or false questions to an end. You can see we went beyond 100. I wish you all the best as you prepare towards this promotion examination. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, please do support us by subscribing, and don't forget to press the notification button to be notified whenever we upload a new video. See you then in my next video. Bye bye. All the best.